This is a podcast from the Business Times.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. Here's your market-focused daily closing bell update by the Business Times. Asia shares mainly fell today amidst rising geopolitical tensions and a rotation out of the artificial intelligence-driven plays. Japan's Nikkei benchmark index closed 2.11% lower, while the South Korean Kospi fell for a second straight session today, plunging 5.35% as it entered bear market territory. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was a notable bright spot, rallying 3.8% earlier in one of its best sessions for the year. From regional to crude markets, oil prices rose more than 2% today after U.S. President Donald Trump declared the ceasefire deal with Iran to be over. This comes after airstrikes launched by the U.S. on Iran, which it said was in retaliation to Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vessels that were transiting the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. also reimposed sanctions on Iran's crude exports. Iran's military responded by striking back by targeting U.S. bases in Bahrain and Kuwait in retaliation to the U.S.'s attacks. U.S. President Donald Trump is in Turkey today for the NATO summit. Brent crude futures gained 2.6% to $76.08 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose 2.6% to $72.26 a barrel. Staying in commodities, gold prices fluctuated today as the prospect of inflation and higher interest rates rose after the fresh U.S. strikes on Iran. Spot gold was up 0.5% at $4,125.59 an ounce, after it slipped earlier in the day to its lowest level since July 2nd. Meanwhile, U.S. gold futures for August delivery fell 0.5% to $4,136.30. In the U.S., stock futures point to a mixed start, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average falling 53 points, while the Nasdaq 100 futures moved 0.3% higher. S&P 500 futures remained flat. Over in the bond market, 10-year U.S. Treasury yields also climbed about 3 basis points to a one-month high of 4.565%, while 30-year yields have broken above 5%. Investors are awaiting the release of the Federal Reserve's June meeting minutes, which could provide more insight into the prospect of additional interest rate hikes, should inflation pressures endure. Moving to currencies, the U.S. dollar hovered near a one-week high today, as rising geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and Iran boosted demand for the safe haven currency. The greenback strengthened 0.1% to 162.33 against the Japanese yen, extending its gains for a fourth straight session and reaching its strongest level since July 2nd. That's it for today. For more business news and market updates, visit bt.sg. And Lens on Daily for the latest tomorrow at 10 a.m.
This is a podcast by the Business Times. Find more BT podcasts at businesstimes.com.sg/podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. This podcast is meant to provide general information only. SPH Media accepts no liability for loss arising from any reliance on the podcast or use of third parties' products and services. Please consult professional advisors for independent advice.